Hello and welcome to the Melvin Tobbs Show. Today we're having another debate with Brian Shepard, a pastor, professional cyclist, and swim instructor on the weekends, he tells us, and Dr. Benjamin Darwin Overson IV, PhD and professor of pyrobiological Hebrew at Harvard. Let's take it to you, Melvin Tobbs. All right, thanks, Melvin Tobbs. Anyway, I'm here in the field with a debate between Dr. Benjamin Darwin Overson IV, PhD professor of pyrobiological Hebrew at Harvard, and Pastor Brian Shepard, swim instructor on the weekends, professional cyclist, and pastor. All right, take it to you. The first point of our debate is about Darwin's theory of natural selection. All right, you two, what are your beliefs?
Well, me, of course, I believe in evolution. As you can see by my copy of The Origin of Species, I never leave home without it. I value it more than my child. And that's what I believe. I believe we all came from monkeys, and that the planet itself came from a ball of molten rock.
Well, Dr. Overson, you see, according to the Bible, I believe that God created the earth in 6 days, ex nihilo, and that there is a supreme power ruling over our universe.
Okay, well, the natural selection is obviously true. The fittest organisms in an ecosystem are the best fit to survive. So how else would anything else survive?
Well, you see, according to Genesis 1:1, which is where I derive my beliefs from, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth."
Okay, well, Darwin, who studied this stuff, who looked at this and dissected things, studied different insects, things like that, says this is a passage from his Origin of Species, and I quote, "Let us take the case of a wolf, which preys on various animals, securing some by craft, some by strength, and some by fleetness, and let us suppose that the fleetest prey, a deer for instance, had from any chance in the country increased its numbers, or that other prey had decreased in numbers during that season of which when the wolf is hardest pressed for food. I can under such circumstances see no reason to doubt that the swiftest and slimmest wolves would have the best chance of surviving and so be preserved or selected, providing always that they retain strength to master their prey at this or at some other period of the year, when they might be compelled to prey on other animals. You, being a hunter, would know how defenseless the deer is and how poor it is in the ecosystem. You take the wolf, a prime hunter that preys on the deer, it survives every time."
Well, you see, Dr. Overson, to be frank, there isn't always competition going on within the ecosystem. I mean, the overpopulation isn't always happening. Sometimes the population is stable. In fact, most of the time it's that way. And also, another argument, just to bring up, is that animals aren't always reproducing.
All right, our second topic for this debate is the theory of descent with modification.
Well, my obvious and true opinion on the theory of descent with modification, as Charles Darwin said, whom my middle name is also Darwin, we all came from a common ancestor. That is easily pointed. As he studied from the finches on the Galapagos Islands, all the finches were similar, but not quite the same. So, as he correctly concluded, they all came from a common finch that used to live on the island.
Well, you see, Dr. Overson, the problem with descent with modification, there are many problems really. One is that, well, these differences are simply just the reshuffling of the already genetic deck, if you may. Or because God created DNA on creation week. And on top of all that, do you see any new creatures or anything being created? No, I don't. You want to know why? Because they're not being created. There are no new creatures coming out of this. And just to prove it even farther, in Genesis 1:20, it says, "And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens." That goes to show you that it's not just your common descent with modifications. It's that we point to a common creator. And while we're on the topic, Dr. Ben, Darwin said in this book right here that, I'm paraphrasing, but he said that if you do not find a missing link, which is the interchangeable phase between two different types of things, it states that if you don't find one of those, Well, then the theory is it's a farce. It doesn't exist. It's not real.
Lisa left me for
So, have you seen any common ancestors? Have you found any of those?
Now, what if I told you, Mr. Pastor Brian Shepherd, sir, that we had found a missing link